Hi, welcome. So you can see we've got it's a little bit different setup here. We're going to tap into the spirit of loved ones that want to come through for a message. So I'm just setting that intention, and we're going to grab a few words. So there's somebody's loved one who maybe was sarcastic, who was a boss, who maybe used the word y'all, maybe a little folksy. And I'm just seeing if any of these other words, I think I grabbed too many. Okay, so there's stop leak. Stop leak. Is somebody like, was he a plumber or she? There was also the words make bomb showing up. Were they in the military perhaps? And then there's like alone groan, like somebody who didn't like to be alone. I don't know. We'll see if any of those resonate with any of you as a little clue of whose loved one might be wanting to come through. So we have these words here. So we'll see what you think. And then I thought what could be fun is sometimes names will come to me, but sometimes not. So I thought let's roll a dice and see what is 16 plus 7, 23. So the letter W is part of the name, maybe the first name like Walter. That's the first name that came to mind. And then we have 9. The letter I is the number 9. I'm corresponding the numbers to a letter in the alphabet, so maybe that's a middle initial, or maybe it's WI, like William. And then we have 2 and 2 is 4. D. D is another initial. So maybe WID. Do you know anybody with those initials anywhere in their name? And then what I thought we could do is see what message does this loved one have for you. I'm getting very warm. Ooh. And I thought we could use these cards to start. Get a couple words here that might help us orient to this loved one, their energy, or the energy of their message. So we have the word separation. I guess you can't see that with this light. Let me put that over here. Well, yeah, they are departed, right? But maybe there was a separation. Does that ring true for you? The word spring. Did they depart in the springtime? Maybe this is really recent. We're in spring now. Let me get one more word. And we have the word awakening. Spring awakening. So we'll see if that means anything with anybody. And then what I'm going to do is itch my nose and then see in our storytelling cards what. Hold on. We have a couple cards here. I'm going to get a few more to see what way it wants to be up. Okay. Keep being told like to go a couple. Oh, a few more. Okay. Then we'll start here. I don't know if you can see these. All right. So it almost seems like this is the character of the loved one. Like we said like boss, and they have a crown on. So it's like this maybe was the patriarch of the family, which I keep feeling the male, like it does feel like a male energy as soon as we started, but you know, we'll see. There's, my nose is running. So it's like they were a boss, weren't they? or if they were bossy, it's saying like they weren't, it's almost like they weren't confident in real life. So that was an overcompensation. If that brings any comfort to you, it's that that was their wound, that it was like a protector energy. So that's why they were that way. And these cows are like floating. It's very whimsical, and I wonder what that has to do. I don't know where something maybe about a farm. I don't know. I'm reading these images. It's like some might be literal, some might be metaphorical, and they might mean something to you. And then there's this, it's almost like they seemed, because of their bossy nature, seemed like, the word impervious comes to mind. What does that even mean? It's almost like you couldn't penetrate through that persona. And it's like it kept people distant from them because of that. It was like a wall they had put up. So it's no wonder you felt like you couldn't ever break through that wall, and that's fine. And there was, for some of you, it might be the different loved one. Like, yeah, or it could be the same loved one. Hold on. But it's like you're feeling like you weren't seen for who you really were. You were just expected to be, you know that old saying, it's like coming to me, children should be seen, not heard. It almost feels like that kind of an energy with this person. And so this is like, so you retreated into your own world, your own inner world, and maybe you preferred to spend time alone and read a lot and have your own kind of world apart from them. But if you're here and that resonates, it's that I think what they're saying is like they were wounded. But let's go to the tarot and see what message they have. So that's just confirmation of who, if any of that resonates, of who your loved one is that's coming through. And so, and again, the initials W and I and D might be part of that. I just trust what comes through because that spirit has a way of doing that. So I'm just here to trust. Okay, so let's see what message is coming through. So we have the 10 of Cups. This definitely feels like a family person. So obviously they're loved ones, but I mean like somebody who felt responsible for the family. All right. Wow, we have a lot of Cups energy. So there's all Cups energy right off the bat. What I want to do is get it before we move on. Actually, for some reason, I don't want to use those. I'm going to use these. Sometimes I don't know till I touch them. Okay. So I'm going to get some challenging energies for these. Oh, wow. 10 of Cups by the 10 of Swords. Yep. Okay. And the Chariot. Okay. This is like too sense making here. It's like sometimes when it's too on point, it's like, whoa, you know. Anyway, so this person was feeling like they were responsible for the family, but they had a lot of worries about that. Like it really felt like that was their burden in a way, but they willingly took it on. But I think they want you to know that whatever negative feelings still linger, that wasn't their intention to have that permeate the household. The fact that it was hard, they underwent a lot in their life from a lot, like even before maybe you knew them. Yeah, before you knew them. And they just want you to know that that's why they were the way they were, is out of their own woundedness. So if you can have compassion for that, wonderful. Because it's just a truth. Because it's like, when they left this earth plane an unawakened soul, meaning they know not what they do, that saying. So it's like they were wounded and they turn around, like hurt people. So if there was any woundedness happening, or if you felt that they were acting out of a wounded place, they were not aware of that. And while they were here, since passing, they have awakened to that reality, to that understanding, rather. Okay, so that's why they're coming through. What we have in the center here is the Seven of Cups. So there's, it felt like they had a lot of, they were searching a lot while they were here. They were searching for what was going to make them happy. But even when they started to glimpse a little bit of that, something kept them not able to achieve that. It was almost like stuck in the same loops, the same old storylines, whatever you want to call it. But they were always searching. And it's like, it almost feels like, did they leave the family? Something is saying that searching led to them going off and seeking something outside of the family. I don't know if they left, or just their heart left a little bit to go off in search of something, because they knew there was something more they were searching for. And it was kind of like they were dealing with their shadow, like their old woundedness. Yeah. So something said, I've got to go out beyond this. It was like they were seeking externally. Obviously now they understand that was faulty, meaning it's always internal, but they weren't awakened to that while they were still here in this life. So they went off in search of what was going to fulfill them. And so that might be part of why they're coming through too, is to maybe help with that understanding. So what I'd like to do is switch into understanding more about now it's time to use these. Okay, got it. Something about wanting to send through a message about why they left, and okay, got it. We got the Ten of Swords again. So it does have to do with the shadow, like we talked about. And we have the Seven of Pentacles. It's like more like it felt like they had other options. They thought it was going to lead to some deeper wisdom. Hold on, I want to know more. Let's grab these. So, yeah. They thought they were going to learn something from this. What did you think you were going to learn? What do you want to tell? What do you want to say? Okay, so there's something about the relationship. Almost, I have to say, it does feel something about something was really hard. Some part of the relationship with the partner, the wife, was challenging. And something because okay. Whoa. Hold on. She needed a lot of care. And that was really hard. It was challenging. Hold on. Sorry, there's a big wave, like a whoosh. It almost felt like a burden, almost like a physical exhaustion kind of burden, caring for the partner, for the wife. I have to say, it does feel like male energy coming through, and they're talking about their wife. And it almost feels like whoever this resonates for, you're one of their children. Just putting that out there because that's what I'm getting. So, but if you're the wife, okay. But it does feel like this message is for the children. And maybe the wife has already passed too. I don't know. Okay, so okay, we're following this thread. What do you want to say about that situation? Okay, so I'm sorry, you can't even see these cards. Okay, my husband's going to be home soon, and I'm going to ask him where this battery is for the camera and get the good camera back so you can see more. Okay. So what do you want to know? So there we have the Seven of Cups again. And the King of Swords. And the Chariot again. Okay. There's like what you were really seeking, like the father figure was seeking his own clarity. Like he was off trying to understand his path. It almost seems like he was a caretaker for a long time, or saw himself as one, which made him feel kind of alone. Yet he was also the one putting up walls to the kind of, that was a self-fulfilling prophecy in a way. Yeah. And so then he would, like him going off was like, I think he's saying he's like sorry for that because he understands now building walls and leaving was like furthering the alone feeling, but really he didn't want that. And I think maybe that's why this word separation is coming here again. Like separation was part of his path. Like the more he, so I'm trying to get the message clear. Coming, making sure it's as clear as it can be for you. Like he realizes now that staying would have been the right thing to do because he could have found what he was looking for right there. It's like that feeling of, it was here all along, Dorothy, or whatever that is. But it feels like he was, like the burden of whatever feeling of the situation he was in, which it was perpetuated from even way back. Like this whole burden thing feels like a cycle he was in and kept himself in. And it's like that self-fulfilling prophecy thing keeps coming back. And then he felt like he needed to escape that role, like to go off in search of what would fill him up after him being the provider, the caretaker, at least from his perspective. And that actually everything that he ever wanted was actually right there all along in the family. He didn't need to go off. So anything else? Is there anything else? We'll get a final message, just giving the chance for that to come through. Any final words. Well, I'll take that one. Oh, wow. It's almost like he's, yeah. Whoop. Okay. Four of Swords again. Okay. It's like these are the slippery ones. Let's see if maybe I don't need any more jumpers. Okay. And the Three of Cups. Okay. So that's the... So this... Through the caretaking was his teacher all along for what he was, what it was the, okay, here it is. He realizes now, his awakening that happened after passing is that he actually, he was fulfilled by the caretaking all along. That's what he's learned, is that did fulfill him, that was the harmonious home life he was seeking. Was actually, he knows that was his path. He designed that path for himself. To come to that understanding that it was a gift to be able to be the caretaker, the provider. And that's what he's learned since passing. So I don't know if that brings you any comfort or relief, but that's the message that he wanted to send through, is that he realizes now that he was fulfilled by that. And everything else was an illusion. Like the desiring, like needing other options, going off in search of what was going to fulfill him, was actually like, no, none of that was that way anyway. It almost seems like if he didn't actually leave, there was this like always looking out energy. That's what I'm feeling. Whether he left or not, I'm still not totally clear. But there was like a searching that you could probably pick up on in his energy, and that really he was already fulfilled. He was just not able to like be conscious, cognitively aware of it at the time. He just kept people a little bit at arm's length, like because of building walls from old wounds. Okay, I think that's it. Is there anything else? Something over here. Okay. I mean, we just used these, but okay. Is there an emotion? These are emotional healing cards. I don't know if it's for you. It says fear. Fear is a response to the unknown, reminding you to address the doubts deep within. By facing fear, you will discover your courage and potential. Overcoming fear and embrace. Oh, sorry. By facing fear, you will discover your courage and potential. Overcoming fear and embracing greater challenges. So I wonder if something about. I wonder. Okay, I got the chills when I started to wonder about that. And maybe that's why you're here and why he's coming through, is because if you're experiencing fear in separation, like separation fear, like, or the fear that you're not able to move on or tap into his energy, like saying like letting go of that, like to let go of all the doubts because you were spot on about everything. So there's no reason to be fearful or that you're going to follow in the same footsteps, or that you have to, like, you're here to heal this dynamic because he couldn't. Okay, yeah, there it is. Because he couldn't while he was here. So so you know how, if you believe this or not, you probably do because you're here. Like and he realized it because the designing that for himself, this experience, so he could learn from it, but he didn't awaken to it till he was gone. You're awakening to this family theme or pattern while you're alive. And you came into this family line to help heal this pattern, this building up walls, keeping people separate, making yourself feel separate and alone. So now I've got to go off in search of something, when it's really like, no, you're not alone. You don't have to build walls. You are whole, WHOLE, just as you are. And you can heal this in your lifetime. Meaning by healing, you don't have to perpetuate that cycle. So there's no reason to be fearful that you will, because you won't. So anyway, I think that's it. Thanks for being here, and all the best. Let me know if you want to do a one-on-one reading, if any of this resonated, and we can go deeper. Okay, thanks. Bye-bye.